Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Midwest Rebuilds. So on this episode, we're going to be working on the Mazda Miata again. We got a good amount of work done in the last episode with the rocker panels, that sort of stuff, so I want to finish up with that. But right now, I'm going to start with taking apart the front bumper, the rear bumper, just to try getting as much as I can ready for paint. So let's cue the time lapse and let's get to it. Little update for you guys. Got front and rear bumpers off of the Miata, and then right after that I started off peeling off the wrap on this door so I can sand this down, pull out this dent, and lay down some body filler. So I want to do that all around the car, get everything prepped for some body filler. So like right there, gotta sand it a little bit, and then a few other dings around the car so I can lay down some nice Bondo and then let it dry. So I got everything pulled out as much as I could, so the layer of Bondo is going to be as thin as possible. The next step I'm going to do is sand around the areas so the Bondo will stick and bond very nicely. Same thing I want to do with the over fenders. There's a few spots that need a little bit of Bondo. I'll take care of that. And also on the rocker panel, like I mentioned earlier. So I'm just going to sand everything out so the Bondo adheres properly. I'm going to lay down some Bondo. So I just moved the car after getting all the Bondo on to dry. Got the rocker all Bondoed up. Also got all the wide body pieces Bondoed up, and as well as the bumper because it had some cracking on it. So I think that's going to be it for today. Got a few other projects to work on. David will be back on Monday to work on this by sanding all the Bondo. And getting everything ready to paint. So we decided that we're actually going to drop this off at Mako. So comment down below a good color we should do on this car. Alright, and it is the next day. Today is the day that we are officially starting to do some Bondo work on this car. So as you saw yesterday, Paul laid all the Bondo on the body parts. Now it's my turn to just start sanding it down and making it look nice. So hopefully it all turns out well. We might need to add a couple more layers of Bondo over some other parts, but shouldn't be a big problem. It just takes up a lot of time. Other than that, it's pretty easy, so let's get right into it.
Alright, so as you guys just saw, just got the second layer of Bondo sanded down on here. I'm gonna add, maybe I'm thinking it might just need one more layer for this. And here I'm gonna do a little wider layer as well, so that I can just fill in this dent that you can feel right here. So I'm gonna have to go grab some more Bondo, mix it up, and then sand down the rest of the door. Hopefully that will be it for the door. And then I'm gonna start sanding down on the wide body pieces, as well as the front bumper needs some sanding. So I'll get to that and we'll be done. Alright, so after running my hand through this top part a little bit, I noticed that there was still a little like dent in the door, so I added a little bit more Bondo in there just to fill the rest of it in. And I also added on the fender flares and partially on the bumper. And that was the rest that I needed, so now it's time to wait for it to dry. While I wait, I'm gonna unwrap the door and then I'll get to sanding it. Alright, so the glazing putty is all dry now. Got it laid down on the door as well as the quarter panels. And those were the only two spots I needed to lay them down, because those were the two spots that I sanded down with an 80 grit sandpaper. So next thing to do is sand this all down with 180 so that it doesn't leave any really deep marks, so that you won't see it when you paint the car. And after that, we'll have to primer everything that we had body filler on, and then sand the primer down lightly, make it all smooth and flat, and then she will be ready for paint. Finally, after a lot of sanding, she will be good to go. All right, and then now we got all the glazing putty all sanded down. I added a little bit over here because there was a small dent in here, so got that out. And next thing to do now is to primer it. So I'm gonna clean off all the surfaces, blow them all off, blow all the dust off. You can see there's a lot of dust over here, and get it primered. And then once the primer dries, sand the primer down, and then it'll be good to go for paint. So let's get that done. Alright guys, so just like that, we got all of the primer laid on. It is actually the next day, so it's all dry now and it's all ready to get sanded. So I'm gonna go grab a 320 grit sandpaper and start sanding all the primer down, making it really smooth. And after that, it will be ready for paint. So we're gonna drop it off hopefully today to get it paint it. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, so I just got all the primer sanded down on the door, on the quarter panels, and all the fender flares. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start sanding down some small parts on the body where the paint actually peeled off with the wrap. I'm going to start sanding these down so it's smooth and you don't feel anything. While I do that, Paul's actually going to start sanding down the inside of the door and painting it silver so that it all matches with this whole car. So let's do that. Alright, so we got all of the stuff sanded down. We got the door painted. Looks really good. And also got all of the paint chips or whatever that peeled off with the wrap. We got that all sanded down. Everything is smooth. The car is all ready for paint. So tomorrow, we're actually going to bring this thing into Mako. And you guys will see what it looks like when we get it painted. So leave a comment down below. Let us know what kind of color you think we're going to paint it. I think it's going to be pretty cool, right, Paul?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Stay tuned, guys, because we're going to have some awesome stuff coming up. So don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below. Let us know what you think about this build, and we'll see you in the next video.